Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammed ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Again, welcome to this session on discourse on the Mathnawi of Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi. Let me begin by again greeting all of you in Turkish as the Mevlevis greet with one another. Vakti şerifler hayrola, hayırlar fethola, şerler defola. Gönüller niyazla dola, niyazlar kabul ola. Let the goodness be conquered, let the evils be dispelled, let the hearts be filled with the love of God, let the prayers be accepted. Like any other Sufi of the Islamic tradition, Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi too has taught that everything has two sides. One is external, one is internal. One side of a thing appears to us from outside, but what lies behind the appearance is the essence of that thing. So there is this principle of dichotomy, or between form and mana in Arabic or in Persian and in Turkish. So there is an object, a being, anything that you may think of, that thing has always two sides. One the appearance, outside, one the inside, the meaning of that thing, which means the reality. And because we only see the outside, we have a limited understanding of the reality of the world. And that's why, as Mevlana mentions frequently, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to call and used to pray to Allah and plea him by saying, "O Allah, O my Lord, show me the things as they are." In other words, show us things as they are, meaning as they are in themselves. And that's why this form and mana, what appears to us, what is hidden behind appearance. To understand both sides are very important. Let me read some of the couplets from the Mathnawi. He says, form is shadow, meaning is the sun. In the face of meaning, what is the form? Very contemptible. What is important is the meaning. What you mean to me, what I mean to you, not what I appear to you, in other words. So know that the outward form passes away, but the world of meaning remains forever. How long you will make love with the shape of the jug? Leave aside the jug's shape, go seek water. For example, there is a cup outside, like a glass. Yeah, jug, J-U-A-G, it's a cup, glass. But this is jug, this is different. So there's a cup, glass. He says, for example, you see, what's important is not the cup itself, but what it contains in the cup. That's the meaning, that's the form. So he said, leave aside the cup, go to the inside of the cup. Go seek water rather than the cup itself. Having seen the form, you are unaware of the meaning. And most of the people, unfortunately, he says, make their judgments, okay, on the basis of their perception, literal perception. without going into the reality itself and going and seeking what lies behind the appearance. So he says, for example, if you are wise enough, pick out the pearl from the shell. The human being also is no exception to this rule. Human being also has two sides. He has a form, he has a meaning. He has appearance, he has what is hidden behind the appearance, the inner self. He says, Mevlana saying, again from Mathnawi, your meaning is the captain and your form is the ship. If man were human, that's very important, pay attention to this. If man, human being, were human through his form, through his appearance, then what would be the difference between Muhammad and Abu Jahl? Both of them are in terms of form and shape, human being. So Muhammad and Abu Jahl would be the same. And now, painting on the wall is the likeness of a man, for example. Look at the form. It's a beautiful painting. You can see the picture. But what does it lack? What does it miss? It says, that splendid painting, that beautiful painting lacks a spirit, ruh, jan, what enlivens it. So go seek that precious pearl. So this is an extremely important conception, of the distinction, relationship between form and mana. Now, let me read to you a beautiful story which comes from the first volume of Mathnawi, and the story speaks about the contest, the contention between Greeks and Chinese in the art of painting and picturing, since we talk about painting and picturing. Of course, a long quotation, but I will read first and I will explain to you exactly what it means. You see, Chinese said, we are better artists. We are in better and best in doing arts. The Greeks said, the power and excellence belongs to us. And then the king, the sultan, said to them, okay, you both argue which one is best, which one is better, then I will put you to the test in this matter. Which of you really are approved in your claim? Which are you really better in your claim? The Chinese and the Greeks began to debate, to argue, and to make their case. The Greeks retired from the debate. They are tired of, debating, and the Greeks, reclined and relaxed and tired from the debate and retired. The Chinese said, hand over to us a particular room, office room, and one for you. There are two rooms with door, facing door. The Chinese took one of them, the Greeks the other room. So, in fact, there were two rooms, and Sultan gave one room to Chinese, one room to Greeks. Like Greeks meaning those who were living that time in the land of Anatolia here, Rumis. Therefore, Mevlana Jalaleddin Rumi, the inhabitant of the land of Rum. Okay. So, both Chinese and the Greeks were given two rooms facing each other. There was a door in between. The Chinese requested the king, the Sultan, to give them 100 colors because they're going to perform their arts. The king opened his treasury, and that they might receive that. So every morning, now they received what they requested from the king: colors, paints, dyes, brushes, everything, and were provided for them by the king. Then Chinese, and every morning, by bounty, the colors were dispensed from the treasury to the Chinese. The Chinese were given what they asked for it. The Greeks said, No tints and colors are proper for our work. We don't need these things, Greeks. Except to remove the dust, we need only a bucket of water, okay? A bucket of water and a brush. That's what all I need. Because we would like to remove the dust from the wall. Remember, facing to each other? They shut the door and went on burnishing, which means the Greeks start polishing the wall, white wall, with the water, with the brushes, burnishing. And they became clear, crystal clear, pure, like the bright sky. There is a way from many coloredness to colorlessness. Now, of course, Mevlana gives now some of his teachings now. We'll explain later. Color is like the clouds. Colorlessness is a moon. See? Very important. Rengi Chon, color is like the clouds. But the colorlessness, no color, is a moon. Whatever light and splendor you see in the clouds, know that it comes from the stars and the moon and the sun, not from the clouds. When the Chinese had finished their work, their painting, picturing, beautiful picture they did, they were beating drums with joy. They accomplished their work. The king entered and saw the picture there. That moment, as he encountered it, okay, and they were rubbing, okay, he was rubbing him of his wits. After that, now, of course, they were just removing, and then king were amazed at seeing this beautiful picture made by the Chinese. You know, Chinese very good in art, you know that, huh? So, after that, he came towards the Greeks, but there was a door in between, you know, two facing room. There was a door in between, and then king, after visiting, okay, the Chinese, came to the Greeks. And they removed the intervening curtain because they put up a curtain on the wall. They removed the curtain. Now look, now on the one side, meaning on the side of Greeks, beautiful, clean, crystal clear, white, okay, wall. On the other hand, a beautiful painting which was made by the Chinese. So when the king came, they removed the curtain over the brushed, polished wall, and say, the reflection of those paintings, the reflection of those pictures and works struck upon these walls which had been painted pure. Extremely, they are very clever, by the way. One of them worked hard, but the other did, they cleaned the wall. They did not do any, art work. Very interesting. So, all that he had seen there seemed more beautiful, here, than even the original painting. It was snatching the eye from the socket, it means even pulling out your eyes. They were impressed by the beauty of it. The Greeks, oh father, are the Sufis. See now, who are the Greeks? Now Mevlana Jalaleddin says, they are the Sufis. Without study and books and erudition, they did not need a book or a performance or a labor, but they have burnished their breast pure. From greed, look at now, from greed, from cupidity, from avarice, and from hatreds. See, they have burnished their hearts, their breast, pure from all kinds of evil thoughts, greed, cupidity, avarice, stinginess, hatredness, okay? All kinds of blemishes. The purity of the mirror is beyond doubt. The heart, which receives images innumerable, that Moses holds in his bosom, also like the heart of Moses. The formless infinite form of the unseen from the mirror of his heart. Although that form is not contained in heaven, very important, nor in the empyrean, nor in the sphere of the stars, nor on the fish, because those are bounded and numbered. Know that the mirror of the heart has no bound. Let me finish and then I will explain. Here the understanding becomes silent, or it leads into error. Don't speculate on what is going on in this. Just submit yourself to the end and see the benefit. Because the heart is with him, with Lord, with God, or with the beloved. Or indeed the heart is the beloved himself. He, you see, Narduhuda, like a drunken man. Or the heart is he. The effect, the reflection of every image shines unto everlasting from the heart alone, both with plurality and without. Unto everlasting every new image that falls on it is appearing therein without any imperfection. Perfect everything. They that burnish have escaped from scent and color. They behold beauty at every moment without tarrying. They have relinquished the form and the husk of knowledge. They have raised the banner of the eye of certainty. Thought is gone. Reflection, thought is gone. Contemplation is gone. They have gained light. They have gained the throat and the sea of gnosis, ma'rifah. Death, of which all these are sore afraid, these people are holding in derision. None gains the victory over their hearts. The hurt falls on the oyster shell, not on the pearl. Now here, though they have let go grammar, linguistic knowledge, and jurisprudence, law, yet they have taken up mystical self-effacement, meaning mahab, annihilation, and spiritual poverty. They prefer these two. Ever since the forms of the eighth paradise have appeared, that they have found the tablets of their hearts receptive. 100 impressions from the empyrean and starry sphere and the void, what impressions? Nor it is the very side of God. Now what this story teaches us, first and foremost, of course, the story has a literal meaning, as I mentioned earlier. There is an appearance, there is a reality behind appearance. There is the form, there is the meaning. These two are, complementing each other. And of course, there has to be form in order for us to go to beyond the form to the meaning. So when we look at these two groups of people, they could be, other nations, Hindus, Turks, whatever. I mean, here the names are they are just symbolic. Just Mevlana gives this as a metaphor, an example. It doesn't matter whoever is the best in painting. It is not the issue here. He says, if you want your heart be a mirror of the reflections of God's beauty, you should start purifying your heart, cleaning it. That's why this is called in Sufi literature, Sufi jargon, Sufi nomenclature, the purification, the process of purification, tazkiyatun nafs. That's what Mevlana teaches us. But why is it this is so important? Form, meaning basic teachings of our religion, prayers, pilgrimage, fasting, okay, and giving charity to the poor. These are all fundamental, indispensable, necessary to become, a real Muslim. But Mevlana says, if you would like to take benefit from them, if you would like to really get to the heart of these fundamentals, you have to internalize them, assimilate them, go to the deeper meaning of exactly what prayer means. You practice the form, but not in formal way only. You do, but also you go beyond it. What is the purpose of, for example, prayer? God doesn't need prayer. It is for human being to improve himself. It is a way, a means for human being, to clean himself, to become a humble human being, to become what Mevlana says, Mard Khuda, man of God, saintly person in a sense, pure, and or al-insan al-kamil, eminent person, universal person. So you should practice your religion the way it was taught to you by Quran, by the Prophet. That is a must. But if you stay there only, that will not touch your heart. So therefore, the external aspect of the prayer is, as we know, standing, bowing, prostration, fulfilling all the required dimensions. But internal of it is a spiritual ascension to God that can only be achieved by a journey within your heart. External ablution is good for your body, but that is not enough. Internal ablution, purification has to complete that. Now, going back to the painting and the reflection of the painting in the mirror, you see, God Almighty, according to Sufis, looks to the heart of his servant every moment. So his glance is reflected in the heart. But he can only look at the heart of a person who makes his locus, in a sense, his center, like a mirror, crystal clear, translucent, Otherwise, it is, dirty, polluted. So you remove the cloud to see the moon. And you remove the cloud, let the reflection of the moon should be seen in the beautiful ocean of the sea. That's exactly what it is. So Mevlana teaches us not simply basics of let's say our religion, but he teaches most essential aspects of the religion. He is a man of ethics. He is a man of mannerliness, courtesy. He is a man of charity. He is a man of love. He is a symbol of, in fact, what we call compassion. So, now, maybe since in the same line, let me take you to another story from the first volume of Mathnawi, which relates to us a visit of a neighbor to Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. This is again first volume of Mathnawi. Prophet Joseph, and we know as Mamlana, a believer, a Muslim, like any other Muslims, believes in the veracity, in the truthfulness of all the prophets from Adam all the way to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon all of them. And as a matter of fact, as I mentioned in another of my talk on Sunday, the most frequently mentioned prophet in the Mathnawi is Musa alayhi salam, Prophet Moses, which is also the case in the Quran. The most frequently mentioned name of the prophet, prophet, is Musa. But also he speaks about David, Sulaiman, Solomon, and the stories from India, stories from far away from places. And also he speaks about the stories of the prophets, and Yusuf, one of them, Joseph. Now, he says, his neighbor, or Yusuf's neighbor, were abroad. He was abroad. He was outside the city. So he returned. When he came to his home, of course, he wanted to pay a visit to his neighbor, Prophet Yusuf. But when he was abroad, he wanted to buy a gift to him, a present to him. But he thought, you see, he is the prophet, chosen man. Joseph is the most handsome, beautiful. By the way, the prophet Joseph represents the beauty among the prophets, you know that. Like David is the beautiful sound voice, for example. Sulaiman represents the ability to speak to the human animals and others. So every prophet has external and internal, in a sense, abilities given by Allah Almighty. So Prophet Joseph is handsome, and he has everything. After all, he's a prophet. So he reflected this fellow when he was abroad. What should I buy? What should I get him to please him? So he really made a good search, and he was shopping around, hanging around in the market. Then finally he saw a piece of item, and he asked the shopkeeper, could you kindly wrap this to me, please? Wrap it. I'll take as a gift to my friend. So he wrapped it, made a good presentable form, came and knocked at the door of Prophet Joseph. Joseph opened the door, and after greeting each other, and he said, produce your gift to me, because he was holding his gift present. And before giving that, this guest humbly said to him, look, my friend, you are a prophet. Really, I thought, I made an inquiry, what should I buy you? Because you have everything. And finally, I hope you will like it. I hope you will love it. I came up with this. And I am offering you as a gift. Please accept from my heart. So it was given to Joseph, and guess what was it? In the end, you know what was it? A mirror. A beautiful, clear, shining splendid mirror. Beautiful mirror. So, you see, you are the most handsome human being. I am sure this will please you, and you should behold your beauty in this mirror, and you will rejoice in seeing your beauty. So Joseph, of course, was pleased with it. That was a mirror. Now, leaving aside this, what is the lesson behind this story? Remember, let me repeat again. In every story that Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi narrates to us in the Mathnawi, has a wisdom, has a purpose, has a lesson to convey, has a lesson for us to ponder. That's what he says. Beytimen, beytinist, iklimest, hazdimen, hazdinist, talimest. Every couplet that I utter is not simply a couplet, a poem. It is a land of meaning. It's a continent. It's a country. It's a tent. Moreover, every joke that I offer, every humorous story that I present to you is not a story to make you laugh, to put you, a laughter on your face. It is in fact a lesson, an admonition, a deep reflection for you. So, now what is the lesson behind this story? Now, two sides. If we take the story as a whole, externally, when you go to see a friend, it will be better if you would like to conquer his heart, her heart, you present to him a gift. Even though a gift is very insignificant in value, it doesn't matter. In order for you to strengthen your bonds, that's what Prophet says, you should exchange gifts. The best way to, really conquer the heart of your fellow friend is giving him or her a gift. This is external. What this guest did, in fact, he just bought a mirror, very simple, everyone can buy it. It is available in every place. You don't have to go really, look for the places. Allow me to have a sip of water, please. But this is external. Remember? Form. The story behind. Okay, so. But what lies behind this is more deep. It says, "Oh, friend of God, oh, the Prophet of God, I believe in you, I love you. What I brought to you is my heart. I don't have any prejudices, any bad feelings, anything in my heart against you. I brought to you my purified, my pure, clean being to you." That is the meaning of it. So, in human relations, Rumi tells us what I call subtleties of ethics, delicacies of human behavior, like manners, courtesy, which means when you speak to someone, look at his or her eyes or face, and not like this, not like that, face, and listen to that person from the heart. And also think of good, think of well, think of beautiful things, that person. Think not of evil. Therefore we say in Turkish, hüsnü zan. Hüsnü zan. You think of beautiful. You think your friend of beautiful things.
Positively.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Positive thinking. Not negative. Don't, in other words, open. Exactly. As you said yesterday, remember? Naked. No prejudices, nothing. Crystal, you see? Okay? So that's very important. He says, I come to you with my whole heart. Okay? This is the meaning. But another meaning that, why heart is so important? In the Quran, the holy book of Muslims, which was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which represent the culmination of all the previous messages of the prophets and of perfection and universality. What we learn is that the center of all human activities is the heart. The center, not the mind. Thinking, reflection, loving, all kinds of, in a sense. So, but this is not the flesh, just the flesh of the heart, of course. That's why the Prophet himself said once, you have something with you, a small piece of flesh. If that is clean, the rest of your body is clean. If that is impure, the rest of your body is impure. Okay? That's exactly what he says. So, good intention has to come first. Good intention. You always think good. Good intention, not bad intention. So, in the, again, context of the Sufis, heart represents what we call a minuscule Kaaba. You know Kaaba?
Mecca.
Yeah. The center of all Muslims. You see, which means you take care of the Kaaba as a Muslim physically, but also you take care of your heart, which is the Kaaba. Because the center of belief, center of attraction, which means do not hurt the feelings of a person. And he said, if you are heartbroken, you will never be able to really restore that. If someone breaks your heart, very, very difficult. So pay close attention to the preservation, to the cleansing, to the maintenance of the heart, which in fact, as I said, locus of the beauty of Allah Almighty's attributes and the names. Okay, as I received the indication, I am sure the Sema will start soon. Thank you very much for your participation, for your listening. I hope this lecture must have given you some benefit, and I don't know if you have a question. Maybe we may entertain one question if you have. Otherwise, I will conclude because the time is coming for the.
You'll be giving another kind of
tomorrow.
The same thing or different?
No, different. Every day different.
Every day at 7.
Yes, every day at 7. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And may God Almighty bless you. And Khuda Hafiz. Fi amanillah. Hoşça kal.